the genesis of a trading revolution, guys. Starting in 5. All right, friends, let's get started. All right, guys, today is a big day for Breakfree Trading, for Companion, and I think this is something we're gonna look back upon that started a really big wave. So welcome to the live stream, guys. We have a lot to cover tonight. There's a lot to talk about, and you know, I might not get everything included today, but we will definitely make sure to keep you guys, you know, updated with all the relevant information that you're gonna need and so on. But I'll try to cover as much as necessary. And what I can say, guys, is that for a very long time, we've been working towards this idea of how we could build a better trading strategy, a real trading strategy that would actually work. And during this research and during this development phase, what I realized was that pretty much everything in trading, like all the technical analysis and all of, you know, technical analysis and all the indicators and everything, it's all a scam. It's all a scam. These people do not make money. They might make money for a season, or they might make money for some months, but they don't make money. They lose their money. They always lose their money in one way or the other. But there is some people that do make money in the markets consistently again and again and again. And these are the market makers. So what I think we have found here is some kind of loophole, some kind of exploit that allows us, just like in a game where you have a cheat code that you can enable. This is a cheat code you can enable to extract money from the markets. It is really good. Like, it is really fucking good. And we're not talking about like a little bit of money here. We're talking about, even with very good risk management, like low risk management, you're able to triple your account. You're able to triple your account in a few weeks. Okay, and this is not just $500. You can do this with 50K. You can do it with 100K. Maybe when you get to $1 million, that's where you're gonna have some problems. Okay, then you're gonna have some problems with size. But because you are a small fish, you can effectively make a job out of this and just keep using this exploit, this cheat code that we have found. And I don't know how long it's gonna last. I really don't know how long it's gonna last. But as far as I can see, it has lasted for 40 years. But I think we are at the end of it. You know, I think at the end of it. But let's not misunderstand that. There is a ton of money to be made every single day in the financial markets right now, and you don't even have to trade. What you do is that you just operate like a business. You're literally just operating like a business. It's like going to the market, putting up your stand, and you'll put some strawberries or some blueberries or some potatoes or whatever you have to sell. And you will sell that for a higher price than it costed you to acquire it. So I don't know how much time you spent to grow the strawberries or how much time it took to grow that potato, but now you're gonna sell it for a profit. In our case, we are able to do the same business where we will be buying something or selling something in a very short time frame, and then if we're buying it, then we'll sell it back to the market very fast. If we're selling it, then we'll buy it back from the market very fast. We're talking about quick trades in and out. And this is a full-time job. And you also want to make it a full-time job, because I'm not sure you can generate this kind of money anywhere else. I'm not joking at all. But there is something that we need to we need to understand is this does not work if you get greedy. It doesn't work if you get greedy. It doesn't matter how lucky you get, how many times you get lucky in a row. And yes, you could 100x your account in one day. Yes, you could do that. But it doesn't work in the long term. And we want to build a business that we can rely on long term, that can consistently generate us income, so we are stable. And we know that next week we are going to generate $2,000. And the next week after that, we're going to do it again. And then we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again and do it again. We're not going to make $20,000, but we're going to make $2,000 or $4,000 or whatever we can. So today we are going to release this exploit. We're going to release the neural mode. And I'm really excited to see what this is going to do for people. I'm really excited to see how people are going to be able to take this and immediately, like the first day you're going to use this, you're going to make money with it. Okay? The only rule there is that you don't over leverage. Okay? You keep a fair position size and you'll be able to keep doing this. But once you start doing like over leverage, and it's going to be very tempting to over leverage with this, because you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, this is just printing money. Why don't I just tune up? Why don't I just speed it up a little bit? Put a little bit more size on. It's just, it doesn't work. Okay, there's many reasons it doesn't work, but mainly your mentality gets fucked. And you know, it's not a business anymore. It's a gambling operation, and that's not what we're doing. We are in a business to buy something from desperate people and sell it back to less desperate people a few minutes later. That's all that we're doing. That's all we're doing. We're not taking directional gambles. We are not saying we think Bitcoin is going to go here or it's going to go here. We are just taking money from desperate people, and that's all. That's the business. There's no Elliott wave. There's no Bitcoin going to 50K. There's no, we think this, you know, the stock market gonna crash. No, we don't do that at all. We don't operate that way. That's not our game. That is, the people that operate this way are the one feeding us. They're the one who's giving us their money. Okay? This is very important to understand. These are the people giving us the money. So if we operated that way, we would not be getting money. We would be giving money away to other Breakfree Trading members. So this is stupid. Okay, so we don't do that. We operate like a business. Okay, now I have that said. I want to get it out there because I know what people are going to do with this. I know how much money it's going to generate for people. I know how tempting it is to use leverage. Okay, I'm fully aware, but I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's much better to just run this thing stable. Okay, so that's it. That's the rant. Now, the good news is that after we launched Neural today, I mean, Andrew, you're gonna kill me, but a few weeks from now, I think we're gonna launch the bot, the automated bot that's gonna trade for you. You don't even have to do anything anymore. You just sit back and it will just do it for you. Let's talk about the updates. We have implemented a neural mode. The same calculations that we're doing on the higher time frames, we have now incorporated them into the 1 minute time frame. Because another thing you need to start realizing is that time frames is a fucking scam. Okay? Forget it. Forget time frames. I'm deeply serious. Forget about it. It doesn't fucking matter how the candle closed on the 15 minute versus the 1 hour. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay? It doesn't fucking matter. And I, for years, believed it mattered. So this has really become like a real realization for me to understand that it doesn't fucking matter. It's all part of the same group of confusing stuff that people do in trading that makes them that fucks up their game. It doesn't fucking matter. It especially doesn't matter to us, because we don't do directional trades. We are in the business to take money from the desperate people. That's all. So fuck timeframes. Forget the timeframes. From now on, we operate on 1 minute time frame. Okay, this is where we work. Why do we work on 1 minute time frame? We work on 1 minute time frame because it is the lowest resolution of new information that we can access in the market. And that's why we have built neural mode as well. And this is what you're going to see, what it's going to do and how it's going to evolve. You have to remember the version that we are launching today of neural mode is the 1.0 version. So give it a few versions, it's going to be massive. But what we have done is that we basically pulled data, all relevant data from all the other time frames, and then we put them into a single time frame, on 1 minute time frame, where you can access them. And you can see the confluence the same way that you could see with xmod before. You can see, for example, here, let's try to zoom a little bit in, right? Here you can see it says the support. So this is the 1 minute support, but next to it, you can see it says support 5 minute. So support 1 minute and 5 minute has a confluence. So it's overlapping. And the same way you can see the 15 minute support is overlapping with the extension too. So we're really confident buying here, you know. That's the point of this. The point of this is trying to aggregate all of this information where we need it. Now, the second thing that we have on neural mode is that instead of just reacting to how the market behaves, we've implemented these AI forecasting models that essentially uses advanced AI, looking at the past, looking at the price action, looking at everything that happened, trying to build like an understanding of what is this market doing and how is it doing compared to what we've seen before. And based on this, the AI gives us a prediction of how these neural bands and the neural levels are going to evolve in the future. Right now, it's only active on 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and 1 day. But they will be implemented in the future versions directly on the 1 minute time frame. And that is because that I believe people need to be trading on the 1 minute time frame. And the reason for that is because there is a crazy amount of money to be picked up on the lower time frames. It's not that there's not money to be picked up on 15 minute. There is for sure, but there's a lot more to be picked up on the 1 minute time frame. So the cool thing about this is that we have a very good model here. You can just see how it's performing on 1 minute here, right? Like you can see a very nice bounce, 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 again and again and again and again. And what we are doing here, how we are making money is actually by looking at the order flow of how the sellers or the buyers are buying and selling from the market makers that's providing liquidity in the market. Based on how the market maker and the buyer and sellers are interacting with each other, like how aggressive they're buying or how, you know, passive they're buying or selling or whatever, we built this model in real time around the price that shows us where we need to engage with the price. And that's really cool. But the cool thing about it is that, you know, we know what's going on right now. We can see, like, right now we can see what's going on here. But what we really want to know is that how is this thing gonna evolve, right? Like, we don't really want to be buying too much here if this thing is gonna keep going down, right? Like, then we don't really want to get too heavy on the position. And the same way, if we're really confident that this is a good spot, then we're willing to take on more inventory. So, having this AI forecast, which is, again, it's an early model, it's early works, but we can see where this is going and it's gonna be fucking awesome. Essentially, we're gonna build like a full 3-dimensional model around the market that analyzes what's going on, both in volatility, but also in price and in spreads and everything. And then based on that information that we have, we build a gap into the future of how we think this thing is going to evolve, how it's going to expand. And that is going to be your secret key to know when to back off from the market and when to stay engaged with the market. And I haven't seen anyone do this before. I haven't seen this anywhere. And from my testing and from the team's testing, it is insanely profitable. Okay, like you can do 10% a week. It's not a problem. 10% a week, like, and that's even without, that's like a good leverage amount, like probably 30-1 or something like that. In Forex, that's tiny, you know. But of course, if you're trading crypto, that's a lot. But that's really incredible. And that's really gonna be massive and change people's lives. So, there's probably some people out there thinking, how does this tie together with Companion? What does it have to do with Companion? And is Companion even alive? You have to understand the technologies that is required in order to make Companion an investment companion is the same technology that we have built that's been put in Breakfree Trading now. Okay? Now, we have a big announcement as well today about Companion. As of today, when this update launches, we're going to enable all Companion holders, all stakers that have staked their Companion tokens, to access all of the Breakfree Trading technologies depending on how much they have staked. And that means that people will now be able to access this technology, Neural Mode, also Pro and Discovery, by the amount of Companion tokens they have staked. So people now have two options. They can either buy a token and stake it, or they can pay cash. Now, if it was me, I would go buy the tokens and I would stake them, you know. But what people are going to do, I'm not sure. But what we are doing here is that we are allowing people to enter the Breakfree Trading technologies by buying Companion tokens. And essentially, we are bridging that gap that has been between Companion and Breakfree Trading, making everything that we do in Breakfree Trading relevant for everyone in Companion as well. But also what we do in Breakfree Trading is relevant the other way around. And I think this is really important, and I'm really proud that we can do this today. And long-term going forward, Companion, we're going to take these technologies, we're going to put them in the Companion app, and we're going to allow people, as we envisioned 1 year ago, we're going to allow people to use their AI to trade for them and generate money the same way. But this is like an initial release, and that's why it's moving a little bit slow. Okay, so let me see if we got some questions here. Hang on. A little bit of. Okay. I'm sorry I didn't check the comments, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Let's just do a round. Steven, Dalucci, Trishy Bone. I forgot the guy. God damn it. PK, Avosani, Lotus Knight, Alabix, Jonas is here, Sanya is here, Soraki is here, Kuba is here, Martin is here, July is here, Alec is here. Welcome, guys. Look, I'm really fucking excited about this. I can't hide it because I know how much this is gonna do for people. Like, I know how much this is gonna be able to help people to do what they wanted, which was to extract money from the market. And that's why it's so exciting, because I know this works 100%, and I know you can sit down and you can learn it much faster than you were able to learn xmod, because it's much more user friendly. It's much easier to understand, and you don't have the conflicts in between the levels. You know, it makes it much easier for beginners to get started and instantly become profitable. The only thing we need to help people with is to keep their leverage under control. And it's hard. It's definitely hard. So the best way to do it is when you're creating a Forex account with IC Market or whoever, you just choose your leverage and you set it at 30 to 1. You're good to go. You're good to go. Because if you don't do that and your leverage get out of control, what's going to happen is that you're going to make a lot of money. And you might make a lot of money for several weeks or something, but at some point you're going to get caught in a bad position and you will have too much persistence size on. You'll not be able to get out in time and you just get run over. And this can happen when your account is $1,000. It can happen when your account is $10,000. It can happen when your account is $500,000. It can happen if you have an account $5 million. This happens to everyone. I think it's 2 years ago. It happened to a Korean guy. He lost 20 billion fucking dollars. What was his name? What was his name? Huang, I don't know. But that's what he did. He was max long, always. And then he got fucked. So it can happen at any size. But the point is that it doesn't really matter that you do it in the first place, because you will eventually get run over. So it's much better that from the get-go, when we start to do this, that we do it properly and we do it in a sustainable way that we can keep doing and making money from, right? Okay, let me see. Question, sorry guys. Alex says, how many companions do I need? How many companions you need? So the amount of companion tokens that you need in order to unlock the different plans will depend on the price, and it will update probably on a daily basis. So depending on what the companion price is and how many tokens you have staked at that time, that is going to determine how many tokens is necessary. So I think right now for neural plan, for 1 year of neural plan, you're probably going to need 150,000 companion tokens, something like that. But you can start with Discovery. I think you can do Discovery for 25,000 tokens. You can do Pro for 50,000 tokens. Or you can go to the marketplace and you can buy the rest of the tokens that you need. And you can stake them. And you can get access. That's really up to you. Okay, let me see. What else do we have in chat? Welcome, Gabe. Welcome, Matthias. Losar Idris. Thought of Africa. Some guy says you keep losing money. Yeah, that's the game. You will not lose money this way. You will consistently make money this way. I'm actually willing to give people a guarantee that as long as you just do, as I will describe to you, you're not gonna lose money. I'm guaranteeing that you're gonna make money with this thing. But it does require that you do certain things right. Why is this guy spamming so much? Okay. All right, let me see. Referral program. Is that training course ready for this? Yeah, almost. But the point is that it's pretty straightforward what you have to do. I will talk you through it now. Can we pay access without companion token? Yes. This is not depending on you have companion token or not. You can buy access with US dollars, no problem. You'll be able to do that later today. The point is just that if you are a companion holder, you can also access it if you have enough tokens staked. And what is the price? Well, guys, how do you price? You tell me, like what is a fair price? What is a fair price when you can take a $335 account to $1,626 without over leveraging in 2 weeks? What is a fair price? That's something I thought a lot about myself. And I thought about, well, okay, well, what is fair to charge people? If I know that they can triple their account in a month with even with low risk, good risk management without over leveraging. Well, if they can make $3,000 a month, I think it's, with $1,000, I think it's fair to charge like 10% of that, something like that, 10-15% of that they can generate. So Nero starts at $249 a month. But today we're gonna have a sale, and if you're real quick, you can get a year at 80% discount. But it's only for a few people. And then there will be another 25 people who can get 50% discount, and there'll be 100 people who can get 30% discount. But it's an annual purchase, and the price is what the price is, because you have to remember that people will be able to access the execution bot, meaning that this thing is going to operate itself in the near future. You don't even have to do anything anymore. It's just going to run for you. And that is personally something that we had, the team and I, we had long talks about this, and we believe it should cost, for a lifetime access, $30,000. $30,000. So I think the price is more than fair that we have set today. So yeah, I think the price is good. We'll see, I understand it's a lot of money. I do understand, but I also want people to understand that in order for us to run it, we have some very expensive server bills that needs to be paid, because the real-time prediction of this thing, doing these calculations and training these models and doing this in real time, it's expensive. It is expensive. There's a lot of computer power used to do this. So I hope that people will respect the price. And again, you don't have to buy neural mode. This is an early access plan, and if you don't want neural mode, you can stick with the new Breakfree Trading 6.0. There's nothing wrong with this. Been trading this way long time. It's a very good strategy as well. You saw the backtest result last week. The results are really good, right? Like this right here. Hope I'm not. Look like I'm showing a little bit secrets here, but heck, look guys. Euro USD 5-minute win rate 69%. Total trade 336. Average win 139. Average loss 111. This is with xmod. This is the xmod 6 strategy that we also update and launch today. There's nothing wrong with this. This is a great strategy, and you can generate the same amount of money as you can with neural mode. The difference between neural mode and the X mode is really user like the ability for the user to use it, like the ease of use, but also the algorithm itself that's powering the calculations is in my opinion it's much better. And the reason is because it's able to adapt to volatility at support and resistances without, what can you say, without completely when xmod bypasses extension 2 or pushes down long enough against the support and resistance, what we do and how the algorithm works is that we pull data from all the different time frames, and we try to align the bias that we have found for each time frame or the cells accordingly. And that's how we got this algorithm originally. But the way that it works is that it has like a window that it looks back into the future, into the past. It has like a window that looks back into the past where it compares all these different levels on all the different time frames and then tries to align them. And that's a great approach that worked really well. But it had some flaw in it, which was that once your level was overextended, it would do like a recalculation of the whole thing. And that could be good or bad, but that's when it would do it. Either when the period of time had passed, it would do the recalculation, or it would do it upon extension 2 being passed. With Nero, we don't have these jumps the same way. Instead, it's a real-time algorithm that updates for each candle. So you don't have these jumps. And that's what makes it really powerful, because it's able to let you, it allows you to, you can see that the support and resistance level, they're not too far away, but in the same way, you see there's a lot more depth when we overlay them. It's not too different, but it has a lot more details to it. And the point is that if this market starts to push against support, or it starts to push against resistance, instead of just considering a level broken by the time that it comes up, it uses the data from all the different time frames at the same time to really calculate and figure out like what's actually going on here. Are we gonna pump? Is this level gonna be broken, or is this just a wick? And a lot of times it would just be wicks that got you stopped out. It was just a wick. It wasn't actually, it was a temporary deviation. And just because you have a temporary deviation doesn't mean that you necessarily should be stopped out of a position. And that's the whole point here. Because neural mode is a real-time algorithm that works in a completely different way than xmod. It has the ability to do these, what can you call them? These valuations of the levels, whether they are, just wicks, or they are actually real levels being broken. Okay, let me check the chat here. How can I be one of the first few? Well, Gabe asked, how can I be one of the first few? Well, you gotta be fast. We're gonna send out an update on email. You're gonna see it in Telegram. You're gonna see it on all the different social channels, including companion channels and so on. And then you just click the link and you just go to the pricing page and check out. Yeah, gotta be quick. Kuba is asking, what is the leverage you use to get 2K out of 500? So if you look at this account and you look at the general risk that was taken, you can see that these are tiny position sizes that's really been taken here. And I believe that the overall risk on this account was 50-1. And for Forex, that's very low, because Forex doesn't move very much. So very low, very small position size. But what it was that it was just it's just so many trades. This is just like non-stop. You're sitting in front of the computer all day and you're just doing this again and again and again and again, and you're just printing money. That's the whole game here, is that this is an active job. Okay. Yeah, you can just look, guys, you can just buy neural mode on the website. You don't have to stake companion tokens. But if you do stake companion token, you can also access it, but you need a fair amount of tokens to do it. You need to pay the same amount of price in companion tokens as you would for the neural plan. But the point is that you keep the tokens, right? Whereas with the money, you don't keep the money. All right, let me see. How much companion tokens do we need to stake to get neural? Right now it's 150k. 150k tokens, because that's the same cost for a yearly subscription of the neural plan. Okay, now I wanna, I realized that not all of our material is out yet. So what I wanted to do in this live stream is that I wanted to show you guys how to trade with this thing. I wanted to show you guys how to approach trading, so you know how to use it when we launch it today. Because I will be honest and say that our new academy is not 100% complete. So I'm gonna cover the basics for you tonight. All right, so the first thing we wanna know is that is there going to be any sudden volatility today that's already expected in the market. So what we do is we go to FX daily. We look at the economic calendar And we just have a quick glance here. Okay, we don't care about low. We just medium, high. That's all. Okay. So let's have a look. So I'm in Thailand, so you know my time zone is a little bit different. So let's see. Okay, so we got some PMI in 25 minutes from the United States, and some other, some general other stuff, some medium volatility here, whatever. Okay, we just want to keep this in mind. Okay. Okay, so let me just move this tab over here. So if we are trading on GBP USD, I want to keep in mind that we're going to have this volatility. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my virtual tool, my vertical line. I'm just going to mark it out. Just going to mark out the volatility. Okay, so 2045. So that's pretty soon. Yeah, that's in 10 minutes. Right, we marked it out here. Volatility will be here. Okay, and then the second time is 21. And that's pretty much it for today. So that means that we wanna stay aware of this, right? Let's just see for tomorrow, because I am, oh, fat, fucking fat. I forgot that's today. It's true. Okay, okay, that's gonna be massive volatility. That's gonna be massive. This is gonna be okay. So we wanna keep that in mind. It's very, very important that for us now, when we're trading on the time frames that we're trading, it's very important that we stay in touch with the market, especially if it's a highly correlated market like we have here. Okay, so let's go 5 minutes. So 1 o'clock. There we go. 1 o'clock, and then again 21:30. So that's it. Okay, so we have this coming up here, and then we have a little bit of a gap, and then we got, I don't know, I think it's gonna fully fly, like it's gonna super pump. So it's a good opportunity for us to make some money. Okay, that's how we think about it, is that we don't want to set positions going into it. We want to be ready to catch this thing as it comes. We don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, anything else? Brazil, no one gives a fuck. Spain, Germany tomorrow, Norway, Euro area. Okay, so that's it. So now we know about the upcoming volatility today. What we want to do now is we want to zoom back in here to 1 minute. And we just want to have a general understanding of the trend. Gonna open RTD3, which we're also launching today, supporting lower time frames and everything. And we just want to see here what's actually going on with this trend. Well, you can see we have a pretty nice, strong uptrend here. I mean, it does say low, but it used to be strong. It's kind of fading a little bit now, but it's all right. It's not completely collapsed yet, right? So this is still a pretty strong uptrending market. But let's have a look at something like USD JPY. Because USD JPY, I think, is in a really strange position. It's in an average. What do we have in a strong uptrend right now, guys? What do we have in a strong uptrend? Well, we can just open the watch list. We'll just go through it. AUD USD, nah. Euro CHF, yeah. Euro JPY, okay, here we go. Some JPY pairs. So I think GBP JPY is doing well. Okay, GBP JPY, strong uptrend. Great, let's fucking go. Why do we care so much about this? Well, RTD, what it does is essentially measuring what's going on in the market, you know. And when these trends are created, they're creating by entities who needs to buy a certain amount of inventory of this asset. And what that means for us is that we know that we have a continuous buyer in this market that needs to acquire and has been buying. And okay, maybe he's done with buying, maybe they are finished with buying, but you have to think about all the time when they moved the market up and all these buyers came in and they lifted all that inventory out of the market makers who had that inventory. They are still short on inventory, meaning that even if the buyer is done, there is still ripple effects going through the market from that time when there was a strong active buyer. And these ripple effects is what causes these bounces in the areas that we're interested in. So that's why we really want to trade these strong trending markets, because we know with very high probability that it's going to perform really well. So now we know that we have a strong trending market here. We can start going a little bit lower to see what's going on. You can also see that, you can see our predictive model here forecasting that this is pulling a little bit down, and otherwise it's going to continue pumping. So that's good. We like to see that. Want to keep that in mind for sure. So let's try to have a look at 1 hour here. Okay, so you can see that there's some sell program, you know, open here right now, and that's interesting. That's why it's being sold. Someone is selling this shit, and that's fine. But we want to keep it in mind. And you can see, even though this is being sold really strongly, it's providing really nice bounces. So let's have a look at 1 minute time frame. So in 1 minute time frame, this thing is actually bearish right now from all the amount of selling. And that's something we want to keep in mind, because if this thing is already bearish right now, it's not necessarily the market that we're interested in trading tonight, or maybe not buying on these levels. Where we are probably interested in trading this is down here. Okay, let's just zoom this out. Let's just see. What do we have? So we have a huge confluence here of 1 hour support, 15-minute support, 5-minute support. So it's really being pushed here into the support area. I'm not sure what's going on with these models here. Need to have a look. So how do we want to approach this? Well, we're not really interested in buying here. Given the volatility that's coming up, for me at least, I'm not interested in buying this here. What I'm interested in is setting some bids pretty low, meaning from here, and be buying down here. But I also need to know when I'm wrong. And in general, what we have found from our test is that whenever a market is in an uptrend, it almost never goes to extension 2 on the 1 hour time frame. It might go to extension 1. You can see that here. It might test extension 1 several times, so it's fine. But it basically never goes to extension 2 if the trend is already strong. It's just too deep. There's too many buyers. There's too many buyers for the situation. So that's why we are really interested in taking trades. Like, if we can see this thing is being dumped, what we're really interested in is being ready for all these people who has been buying. You can see again, a nice bounce here. But we're interested in all these people that's getting trapped here. What we want is that we want these people to puke at the same time. And we want them to puke straight into our entries. So their stop loss or their liquidation becomes our entry. And if you know me, I have always said this. Liquidations are the best entries. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to set up some fishing orders. And it's perfectly fine. We don't really care what the market does here. Like, this is not really relevant for us, because this is not what we do. If we started buying here now or something like that, we would be directionally gambling, and that's not what we're doing. All we are waiting to happen here is for people to make mistakes, so their loss can be our win. So GBP, JPY, I think this is a pretty interesting market, but I do wonder if we have anything better. GBP USD here, as we marked before. However, the daily trend was not as strong, but in general, this market is performing much better. Like, you can see it's holding its trend to a much better degree than the GBP JPY pair. So what I'm interested in is that, okay, in 1 minute, we're gonna have the first move. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place a few small orders. Hang on, I gotta map this for a second. GBP USD, map it to my broker. There we go. And I'm not really interested in engaging with the market here at all. All I want is just to see that big move straight into my orders. And I don't know how big this volatility spike is gonna be. Maybe it's not even gonna go our direction, but I'm happy to keep buying all the way down here in this event. So let's see what happens. If it's even gonna move. Maybe it's not even gonna move. Looks like it's... nothing. Nothing really. Okay. So what we do is we create an alert. Usually I can create an alert, but you create an alert and you go do something else. You know, you don't, you can sit and watch, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with sitting and watching this thing, you know, unfold. But in general, the way that I've been approaching this is that I just put alerts. I put my bids, I put my ask orders in the market, I set an alert, and then I go do something else. And then I wait for the alert. It can be one market, it can be two markets or three markets, it can be multiple different markets at the same time. And I wait for that to happen, and then I just go pick up my trades that's been filled and I close them. That's it. And yeah, sometimes it's a little bit boring because nothing happens, but you have to remember, you know, even though people lose a lot of money all the time, they are not losing like all the time. Okay, they are, but it doesn't mean that the market is going to do big moves all the time. But they happen. You can see here, like it happens regularly. You can see we had a big move here, had a big move here, had a big move here. So on a daily basis, you're going to get like several opportunities here to make money. This thing doesn't look too interesting. And again, if there was no volatility right now, right? Like if the market was not, if we didn't know that there was going to be Fed and there was going to be all these fucking news and so on. If this wasn't the case, then I would be happy to be sitting here and buying on the support and the extension right now. But because that I know this is a volatile period and, you know, things can come in and out, I'm not really looking for that in these highly volatile days. You know, I'm just looking and waiting for someone to make a mistake. And as a, you know, when you first start using this, don't focus on the profit you're generating. Don't focus on multiple markets at the same time. Just stick with one market. Stick with one market. Just get a few small orders in and get a feeling for it, because you will see very fast that there's a flow to this. And it's really like a compound effect that once you start to get into it and you start making a few trades, it makes you feel good. It gives you confidence. And it becomes much easier for you to just continually executing this and making money. But if you go in hard and you use too much leverage from the first day, so on, you're going to fuck it up. Maybe you make some money, but you will fuck it up. So it's much better to just take this slow. Get into the gear, because you have to understand, you are transitioning. You're going from being a trader to being a market maker. Okay, it's two different worlds, and you need to shift your mindset of how this thing works and how you know you're generating money in a completely different way from the markets now than how you used to do it before. Let's see some comments here. So you're looking for high volatility when people are selling, then you buy. Yes, pretty much. All right, let's have a look at gold. Gold is probably going to do some big jumps as well today. Look at that. Let's have a look at this. Very nice. You can see this. I don't know what this was. This was probably some news as well. Something came out, I think, some news. Maybe someone knows something. But what you can see is that it did this move up and then it dumped down. And it actually dumped straight into the 15-minute, the 5-minute extension. And that's why, like, the general idea here is that the deeper that this thing goes, the more that we buy. Gold looks very bullish. Gold looks really great. Let's see what the AI forecast is saying. But yeah, it might, like, this might seem like a little bit, you know, it might seem a little bit boring. It might seem, you know, like it's not really trading, but do you really care? Do you really care if it's boring, if you're printing money to a crazy degree? And that's what I realized for myself. It's like, no, I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know. And that's why it's so important that we come to this realization that all this trading stuff, all these indicators, these different gurus, all these people selling tools and courses and Fibonacci and Elliott waves and all this, like, everyone is doing, there's two groups of people. There's all these people doing this, and it's both retail and institutional players that use these tools, technical analysis tools, to try to make some intelligence in the market. And then you have this other group of people that are market makers that, like, they don't really care which way, you know, what people think or which way the market is going, whatever. They are just there to facilitate people to buy and sell in the market. Sometimes they are hired. Sometimes, you know, they are hired by companies to provide liquidity based on a contract. So they have an obligation to provide a certain amount of liquidity at certain times. But the point is that when we're executing this mean reversion market making strategy, we are not obligated to keep providing liquidity at those times where it's not suitable for us. All we're doing is that we're waiting for the right time where we can find an inefficiency in the market, and neural mode marks it out for you. You can see it here, you can see it here, you can see it here. And whenever these inefficiencies gets marked, that's where we engage with the market. Is the new xmod 1 minute, 5 minute sonar ready? Yes, it is coming out today, Idris. You know, interesting. I don't know. I think something like this. Now, some of these models are not always giving me the output that I want here. I'm not really sure, but again, it's an early version. I do think that, you know, when we look back at this in just a few months from now, the new models are going to be that much better than what we have today. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have in the comments? Carrie Levi's asks, no, I don't care if it's boring, but I do need to know how to trade this. Like, we need lessons to explain what we're looking for. Yes, I agree. Absolutely, you need lessons. So we are waiting it to come to the green area. That's right. In general, it's very straightforward. We tried to design this, you know, with simplicity. So the general idea behind the design is pretty much that if the bands are red, you're selling them. If the bands are green, you're buying them. How can we backtest the strategy? Well, if you want to backtest the neural mode strategy, the way to do it is really to just look in the past of how it has been performing. Because the current strategy around neural mode is similar to the way that xmod worked, but because that it has like a dynamically updating levels for each candle and it adjusts to the volatility in real time, our backtesting model doesn't like 100% work yet. But you will see today when we launch the new version of Breakfree Trading and xmod 6, you will see you can go to our website. You'll be able to find backtest from a ton of different markets, and these are all Sonar trades that you can find over here in your Sonar panel. Oh guys, we're running out of time here. Time moves fast. Yes, I am aware that we need new Academy videos for this, and it is in the progress, and it will be out later this week. We've just pushed, putting the finishing details on it. This is an experimental build. The idea behind what we're doing today, launching neural mode, is to provide an early access to the system. It's not for everyone. It's not supposed to be for everyone at this stage. This is supposed to be an early preview of what we've been working on, and to get some feedback from people trading it of how we can continuously improving it, and just to get some people to use it so we can see that these results, really are that easy to recreate as we say they are. PK asks, will the linking of companion to Neural also be available today? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. From today, people can access all of Breakfree Trading's plans by staking companion tokens. And there's a process to do it. You can see it on the website. Emil asked what time the release is today. Probably a few hours from now. Probably like in the next few hours, guys. Now, for the people that's gonna start trading with neural mode today, don't worry, I got you guys covered. How you're gonna approach this, how you're gonna trade this. It is really not that difficult at all. Like there's only really there's only really a few key things you gotta be aware of. Like I showed you, you have to check the upcoming volatility for the markets, because we're trading on 1 minute time frame, very short term. We want to know when it's expected, so we are not buying. We're not buying when the volatility is already expected to be much greater than where we have put our orders. So you want to keep an eye on the volatility that's gonna be upcoming, and then you simply go to a 1 day time frame or 4 hour time frame, and you go through your watch list, and you simply find a strong trending market. Could be a strong trending market, and you can watch that with the new RTD3. You can have a look. You can see USD CAD. Actually, I think USD CAD looks really nice here. And the reason I say that I think USD CAD looks really nice here is because this thing is probably gonna dump later. Because right now you can see this is in a really nice uptrend. So I like this market. It looks really well. So let's have a look at the lower time frames. So what we want to do is that we really just want to put an alert here, and we want to stack our bits all the way down here. And then we simply wait. We wait for the volatility announcement today, and we see if we get filled. And if we don't, that's fine. But because we have this strong volatility today, we are not just trading and buying everywhere. But if we had no volatility today, if we had no expected volatility today, we would be sitting here and we were buying the 1 minute band all day, right? Be buying here, be buying here. We'd be buying this all day. But given how close we are to this announcement it's just a little bit too risky for our market making business. So for neural mode, it works on all markets. The prediction is currently enabled on 4 time frames: 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and 1 day. This will be shifted down to 1 minute time frame once we have fine-tuned the models a little bit more, because the challenge with 1 minute mode and predictions is that we need to feed it enough data so it understands the context, like enough context of what has happened in the past to give a proper idea of where it's going to move. But this is coming. And so it works on all markets. The prediction, the AI forecast is enabled on 32 markets. These are high liquidity markets. It's the Forex majors, some Forex minors. And then we also have indexes. And we got gold, we got silver. And I think we also got Bitcoin, if I'm not wrong. Oh, look at that. So we just had some volatility here. That's right. 9 o'clock we would get volatility. So, you know, you really want to be ready for that. You want to sit here and you want to be ready to buy this thing. Because what happens most of the time with these things is that they go up and then they go down. Or they go down, then they go up. But what they are almost always doing is that they're just ranging between these bands. So. I would be okay to buy this extension here. Like the only, what I don't want to see is, you know, I don't want news to come out and then do like a huge flush, right? But if news comes out and it just starts moving a little bit like this first, then I'm happy to move my orders a little bit up to buy. Just to get in and out of a trade really quickly. But maybe you've seen this before, but what happens on all news events is that all the market makers and the liquidity providers in the market, they really just pull their orders back, and the market will just do like crazy jumps. So that's why sometimes you see the spread from your broker will just like widen. You know, these two lines, the green and the red one, they will just take a huge distance from each other. And that can be an opportunity. It can also be very risky. So it looks like not much here. That was pretty boring. How did this perform? What did we get? Pretty much what was forecasted. So yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna take final questions from you, and then I wanna tell you guys that, you know, I really hope those of you that decide to try a new remote, I really hope that you pay attention to your risk and you don't overdo it, and you stick to it without taking too much risk. Because if you just do it, you know, without too much greed, and you're happy with 10% a week, which is amazing, then it will be a much more sustainable business from you. You're not going to have these ups and downs. You're not going to feel sad and be upset with yourself when you take big losses because you got too greedy. And, you know, you have to think about when you take these losses, because being too greedy, not only are you taking financial loss, but you're also taking like mental capacity loss, right? Like your mindset is suffering as well. And that's really not the state we want to be in. The state we want to be in is a state of flow where we are just chilling. We're waiting for the alerts to go off. And once the alerts go off, we make money. So yes, the subscription for Neural Plan will be available today in a few hours. Just stay tuned. It shouldn't take too long. And the advantage of doing this in times of volatility is that like you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. You cannot do what everyone else is doing. You cannot be trading up here. We don't buy here, right? We don't engage with the market here. We only engage with the market when people are making mistakes, which is that when they are they're selling something into a really strong support, into a really strong buyer. Where we know that we have a strong buyer, we know we have a market maker, we know we have someone that's going to pick up these orders because they're running a buying program. And in that case, in those cases, we're happy to take on the risk. 10% a week is like winning a lottery. Yes. It is incredible. But 10% a week is not... You're going to find that it's not too difficult to do. It's really not that difficult to do. Gabe Paul asked, will it be difficult to trade this time strategy if I can't place trades directly from Navigator? Well, in the future, Navigator is going to place trades for you. Let me just say that again. In the future, you're not going to be placing trades manually anymore. Our bot will do it for you. You can trade this without using Navigator directly. You can place the orders manually in whatever software you're using or whatever you have, whatever platform you are trading in. You can place this order manually and you can just watch the levels and you can do that. Yes, you can. But it's definitely easier to do in Navigator. All right, guys. Well, I gotta run. Guys. I think not too long from now, we're gonna send out this update. And by that, I mean in a 2-3 hours time or something like this. And you'll have to bear with us a little bit on the academy. We'll bring you a new academy. It's slightly, it's just the editing, you know, it's hard work. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. And Gabe, you know, you can execute this without connecting to your broker. You can do it manually. You just put it on the same levels that you can see here. It's fine. That's how we used to do it.